As someone who recently turned 32, I've been reflecting on my artistic journey ever since I graduated art school with a BFA in animation from 2015. And well, to be frank, it's been kind of a mess. But the good news is I learned a lot from not breaking into the industry, and I figured I would make this video to go over some of the lessons I learned that I wish I knew when I first graduated art school. Number one, you don't have to choose between working at an animation studio or working as an independent animator. When I was in art school from 2011 to 2015, it felt like we had to choose whether we wanted to pursue getting a job at an animation studio or go down the independent animator route. 22-year-old me naively thought that studio jobs were a more stable route to go down, but we've recently seen that that's not true at all. The truth is, working at an animation studio can be just as unstable as working as an independent animator. When I was in college, I was unaware that most of these jobs at big studios can last anywhere from 3 to 8 months, and there's no guarantee that you can line up another gig at the same studio or even on the same show. What I should have done was pursue both indie and studio animation opportunities to maximize my chance of success. This includes working on personal animated short films to submit to film festivals and post to YouTube, while also creating the characters, storyboards, backgrounds, and other assets for the film and adding them to your portfolio. You really don't know what avenues you will find success in, so it's best to increase your chances by exploring both options. Number two, what you do for a living does not determine your self-worth. This was a hard one for me to accept, considering the environment I grew up in. I feel like most millennials were raised to believe that with hard work, anything is possible and you can get the job of your dreams. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that was basically a lie until I graduated college and saw how tough competition for these roles were. I feel like the narrative back then was working jobs in retail or food service were looked down upon by people with real jobs. And a lot of our parents thought that everyone who worked in the service industry were failures. The fact of the matter is, there are tons of people who are talented as hell, but can't manage to land work for certain reasons. There are also people who have been offered jobs at studios, but turn them down to work on their own art as independent animators. A favorite quote of mine that explores this concept is from Stephen Jay Gould. I am somehow less interested in the weight and convolutions of Einstein's brain than in the near certainty that people of equal talent have lived and died in cotton fields and sweatshops. The bottom line is that you can't always judge a person's skill just from their job title alone. Number three, most job opportunities are through networking and making friends. The animation industry is a small and big place at the same time. People working at the same studio might run into each other at wrap parties, conventions, and other industry events. The simple fact of the matter is, someone working on a show has more pull recommending their friend than a resume of someone they don't know in a digital pile. This aspect of the industry can sometimes make people feel like they're on the outside of a clique, especially those who do not live in Los Angeles, and I get how frustrating that can be. One way that you can combat this is to find people at the same place that you are in your animation journey and form genuine connections with them. If they manage to land a gig, they'll know you like them as a person and not for any career opportunities they can give you, and will be more likely to recommend you for any position should you be looking. Making meaningful connections can also be helpful if you need to find people to collaborate with on any future projects.
Number 4, you should definitely take a class to brush up on your fundamentals.
One of the best things I did for my art journey was to take classes at Concept Design Academy. The teachers there knew way more than my college professors on how to create great art, and the techniques I learned in those classes have helped me immensely over the years to improve my drawing skills. The simple truth is that most art school professors do not teach the best techniques and fundamentals for artists to learn and grow. I had to learn the proper way to draw much later in life than most people, but I'm glad that I eventually learned these techniques, which has improved my ability to see and draw much better than when I had graduated college. With places like CDA, Schoolism, and Brainstorm becoming more popular, people often ask if an expensive four-year college is worth it, now that you can take cheaper individual classes. Unfortunately, I can't answer that for you. Some people benefit from the college experience while others thrive more by learning online. For me, I enjoyed parts of my college experience, like living away from home, spending time on campus, using equipment I would normally not have access to, and so on. I learn better in person in a classroom as opposed to online, but like I said, everyone is different and you need to figure out what works best for you. And finally, my last thing that I learned from failing to break into the animation industry is number 5. Taking a break from portfolio work to make your own projects is vital for your creative health. The more and more I kept failing to attain my dreams of working in the industry, the shittier I felt, and that in turn affected the quality of my art. I realized that I needed to stop working on portfolio pieces and to just try and find the joy in making art again, to make art for myself. And that's exactly what I did. I drew a whole bunch of art based on prompts from the Wanna Draw generator that I thought were funny and interesting. Some of them turned out decent, others not so much. The constant negative thoughts about my art didn't go away, but they did lessen over time. And there it is, 5 things I've learned from not breaking into the animation industry. But I want to hear from you guys. Can you relate to any of the points I brought up? What have you learned in your artistic journey? As for me, regarding any current projects that I'm working on, I'm in pre-production for an animated short film I'm co-directing with my fiance. The character designs are done. The final boards are probably 3/4 of the way done, and the props are maybe a third of the way done. I might make another video about my process of making a short animated film while also having a day job. So if you guys want to see that, please let me know. Okay, that's a wrap on this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye.